Sorry, guys, just give me 1 second. I'm trying to get my guests on the screen. Actually, let's just switch it back over, and then I'm gonna try to get you on in the back. What's up, guys? Though, what's up? How y'all doing? Um, you know, happy to be here again for another tech talk. I got another special guest here in the building. I'm excited about this one. Let me fix the screen right fast. I apologize for this. There we go. There we go. I think I got you. I think I got you. Hold on. Let me unmute the mics. Yeah, I know you guys can't hear him. You probably can't. You should be able to hear me. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. And shout out to Gabe A for the super chat. I definitely appreciate it. Starting the show off right. I definitely appreciate it. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, and if you can hear me, just put a one in the chat if you can, please. All right, all right. Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you guys can hear me. Let me see. Is somebody saying anything? Hold on. Let me just check myself. Testing, testing. All right, all right. Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you guys. They should be able to hear us. What's up, though, man? How you doing, Mark? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you, man. I'm glad you're able to come through. What's up, though?
I'm good. I'm good. Happy to be here. Happy to talk to you. Happy to get this tech talk contribute. And I've been watching you for some time through O'Shea and this and that. And when I found another brother in the space, I got excited. So I'm happy to be here. Happy to be here.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I appreciate you, like I said, coming through and reaching out to me and everything, because that's one of the things I try to do in the space. You know what I'm saying? I try to, if I see someone that's actually putting out some good information or excited or whatever, and I've been doing this whole YouTube thing for a while, you know what I'm saying? And so, um, I think we need more people, actually talking about the IT field and getting into the IT field. So I try to bring them on, show them support, show them love, and try to share them to my audience. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be the only one, talking about this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot more people out here working in different areas of IT that I've never worked in, before, and so it's always good to bring someone else on. But let me shout out a couple people in the chat. I definitely appreciate you guys coming through. My wife, lovely angel lady, good to see you. Yeah, she's right. Hit the thumbs up if you come in the building. You know what I'm saying? Go down, hit the thumbs up button. And if you want to share, if you feel impelled to share, just go on and share so we can expand the community and everything. Shout out to Gabe A again for the $10 super chat. I definitely appreciate it. Santiago, good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for letting me know my sound is good. Just Nay, what's up? Good to see you. Bob Brown, good to see you. Yeah, definitely thank you for letting me know sounds good. Sound check, 1 2 1 2. Professor Black Ops in the building. What's up, man? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Definitely appreciate it. And if you guys are interested in learning AWS, go holler at my man Professor Black Ops. He got, a playlist with a whole bunch of videos where he talks about AWS and some training to help you get started with, working with the cloud. And then Gabe A says, KIT, you've been instrumental in growing this tech sector of Black YouTube. Salute. Yeah, I appreciate it, bro. Thank you. Thank you. And Diamond Tech, I see you in the building as well. Good to see you. All right, so Mark, man. So tell me a little bit about yourself and your background, and what you got going on here on YouTube.
Thank you. Thank you. So, a little bit of personal, a little bit of professional, a little bit of academic. So I was born to two parents. They were born in Haiti, migrated to New York and had me. I was born in New York, Jamaica, Queens. It's all my New Yorkers in here. And then that was 93 when I was born in New York. And then I moved to Miami in 99. And my yayo, and had a love of tech since I was a kid. Whether it was phones, whether it was gaming, you name it. And when I after high school, I decided to pursue a degree in computer engineering. First, I went to a community college. Then I transitioned to FIU, Florida International University,
Okay.
and 2019 graduated with my bachelor's in computer engineering, and then went right back to get my master's in cybersecurity. And then I got into the space. It's kind of funny because when you don't know anybody and you're a stranger in the industry, it's hard to get a job. So
Mhm.
I was able to get a job by someone who's powerful in Florida, who has their own business and in the IT space, similar credentials to me academically. So he gave me a shot in 2019. And then March happened. We all know COVID happened,
Mhm.
and kind of hurt his pockets a little bit. So I was kind of fresh meat on the block. Had to let me go. So after that, now I'm an IT auditor at a billion-dollar organization based off in Boca. Can't tell you the company name.
Wow.
But yeah, I'm an IT auditor. I basically provide remediations to 700 care centers all across America, and I use my skill set to analyze what problems they have and present those problems to them and how to fix it.
Okay. Yeah, that's dope right there, man. So let me ask you this, based on what you said, as far as like I've never heard of Florida International University. Is that an online school?
No, Florida International University is a public school,
Okay.
like Florida State. It's
Okay.
a it,
Okay.
it's based off in it's based off in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
It's newer compared to the Florida states, compared to the schools that have 100 years plus.
Yeah.
It's about 70 years old, so it's a new school. It's very diverse.
Okay.
Um, so it's basically a public university based just like Florida State or UM.
Mm-hmm.
We have some locations close to UM, and we're new, but we're really up and coming over the last 70 years,
Okay.
and
I
we're
got
very
you.
diverse.
I got you. I got you. And the reason I asked that question because I went to AIU, which
Mhm.
is American Intercontinental University, but it was an online, like traditionally online school. So that's why I was curious when I heard that international. I was like, I wonder if you went to an online school, kind of like what I went to, because I got a bachelor's degree from AIU, and it was in. It's been so long I don't even remember. Information technology. Yeah, bachelor's
Okay.
degree in information technology. But nah, congratulations, bro, on doing
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying? You just went right back. See, and that's the thing. I took a break. That's why I ain't get my master's, because
Mhm.
I had it in my mind to get my master's, but um, I right after I finished my bachelor's, I just started working or whatever, getting good jobs and stuff, and I just never went back to get my master's. I even started a program, but I did like the first course and stopped there. So I'm congratulations on continuing forward, and getting that master's, to go on and hop right
Yeah, and
into it.
what you got is great yourself. What happened was at 2019 was a was a year we never expect anyone ever expected, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
I had an uncle who went to FIU who's like 20 years older than me. He said, "Hey man, ride the wave. You graduated. If you get this master's in cybersecurity, it's only going to take you 1 year. So
Yeah.
just get it out the way. You know what I'm saying? You carry on the momentum of graduation right into it."
Mm-hmm.
So I followed it as his advice because I'm a work now, play later kind of guy. I don't like to do the I like to get everything done and enjoy. So
Mm-hmm.
um after 2019, I hopped right back into it. And then 2020 graduated, uh and I'm done. I'm done.
Okay.
I put my time in and I'm done.
Okay. So let me roll it back a little bit. So what got you interested in getting into the tech field? Because a lot of people, when they go to college, they try to avoid STEM fields. What
Hmm.
made you get into, the STEM field or decide to look into the STEM field?
Well, two components. I Ever since I was a kid, I love easy. My middle name is Easy. I
Okay.
love the fact that technology makes our lives easier. So that concept alone pulled me to tech. And ever since I was a kid, I'm island. So, I
Hmm.
was born into island parents. So in the island household, you only got a couple options in the
Yeah.
STEM field. And my mom is not trying to hear, hey, I'm going for this in art or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I gotta tell her law. I gotta tell her medicine. I gotta tell her engineering. So I don't really like being a doctor that much. I didn't really see myself doing that. I don't like to argue. Law was not really something that
Yeah.
I wanted to do. So engineering was kind of like the last thing, and because of my natural born love for tech, my mom was cool with it, parents was cool with it, I was cool with it. So it was like a done deal. It was a done deal.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah. It's always good to hear those, because everybody has a story behind why they actually got into it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, as far as just tech in general. Like, I remember when I was, growing up, I was always pretty good with the computers. Like, and I used to be downloading music and selling mixed CDs, and all
Mhm.
that stuff. And I don't know, I just kind of got a love for computers and breaking stuff and
Yep.
putting it back together and all that stuff. So,
Yep.
yeah.
And when I was a kid, my mom and my father told me, here's another nugget. They told me when I was a kid, like, if you want to maximize from a financial standpoint, your life, these are the kind of fields that you want to consider, strongly consider.
Hmm.
So I didn't want to be 50 something odd years old looking back like, dang, did I leave a lot of money on the table, etc. So that was another nugget. And to your point, yes, in class I used to take things apart. I had my room right now got like three laptops. So taking things apart, putting them back together, and definitely. So I see your point from that perspective.
Cool, cool. Yeah. So, um, now, uh, as far as what you do, can you talk about what the day in the life of an auditor or something? Not, I mean, you ain't got to tell me exactly what you do, but like as far as being an auditor in IT, because you don't hear many people with those jobs, and I've ran across a lot of them. They do a lot of traveling. They go around and
Mhm.
audit networks, audit applications on the network and all that stuff. Can you explain a little bit about what that job entails?
Yes. So just like you just said, you made a very valid point. When it comes to IT auditing, it's very big and vague. So in the company that I work for, I'm on the IT security side. We have the vulnerability management side, which performs uh, the activities on the networks. But me, I'm more on the payment, the PCI, what they call it, payment card industry side,
Okay.
and the computer hardware and software side. So basically, what I do is, and cybersecurity is like we rely on each other.
Mm-hmm.
Roles rely on each other. So the vulnerability management side, they perform scans on the computers and the networks, the software of who we have under our umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
When they have the results of, when vulnerability management says we have 500 computers that don't have firewalls, we have this, etc., that doesn't have this doesn't have this. Where I come in is I use the NIST CSF, which is a framework, PCI framework, which basically has rules and laws of how organizations should function to prevent hacks.
Mm-hmm.
I use the information gathered from what they perform. Um, I use information based off the scans they took and say, okay, you don't have a firewall according to this law, you're supposed to have a firewall, and you're supposed to have a firewall this way, and these are the rules you're supposed to implement for that firewall. So the day in the life of me, an IT auditor, is basically showing people these are your problems, this is how to fix it, and I
Mm-hmm.
go home.
Okay. And when you say a NIST, that's what's it called? National Institute of Standards and Technology or something like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay. All right.
yeah.
Yeah. That and now so Professor Black Ops probably getting excited down there, man, if he's still here. But that's what he do, man. He does the he always talks about STIGs. So do you
Hmm.
work with STIGs and do you have to deal with that or whatever? Like I know they normally have, I guess, the different sections they go through and do their STIGs on the computer and send the information over to I guess who's ever managing all the STIGs across the network. Is that something that you deal with as well, or?
No, no, for the projects that I'm currently working on,
Mhm.
I'm working on PCI projects and NIST CSF projects. So
Okay.
we have roughly 700 care centers that we provide IT service management for.
Mhm.
And not only can a computer be hacked, but a card swipe machine can be hacked as well.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, my fiance, she got hit with an attack. She one day she looked up in her account and she had 2,000 at Gucci.
Mhm.
So not only can computers be attacked, but card machines. So I work with PCI, which is the payment card industry standard for card machines.
Mhm.
And I work with NIST, which is an overall standard that organizations should use to protect their IT assets or their protect their data, virtual data, etc., things like that. So the two frameworks I mostly work with is PCI and NIST.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. So there was a question in the chat I want to that'll kind of segue into my next question. Um and they're basically asking, Tosh asks, should I start with CCNA? I kind of have theoretical knowledge, not much used routers, switches, and in last semester bachelor's degree, or maybe Linux-based certifications, then proceed towards networking. Um, let me just give you my answer, and then I'm a roll over to Mark because I want that kind of rolls into my next question I was gonna ask him, but um, I don't recommend you start with the CCNA. I know a lot of people that have taken the CCNA and, as their first certification. Um, it's tough. You got to make sure you study, 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 and lab, lab,
Mhm.
lab in order to pass it. But in order to get a little bit more theoretical knowledge, I always recommend people to at least go down to the CompTIA Network Plus. That way you can get a full understanding. And it's not vendor specific. You know what I'm saying? It applies across the board, no matter what vendor you're actually using. So, uh, Network Plus, I would say, is a good place to start, unless you feel as though you could take that CCNA. So, I mean, that's up to you. At the end of the day, um, but I always talk about um, just getting the base knowledge. If you don't have the base knowledge, then you ain't gonna understand the vendor specific stuff. Like if you don't understand the basics of how to do subnetting, setting up VLANs and all that stuff, then it'll be very hard for you to, study and take that CCNA. So it's all up to you though. You know what I'm saying? And this rolls right into my question. Where do you think people should start if they're trying to either follow what you're doing or in IT in general?
Well, I love that question. Thank you for asking that question. And here's what I have to say. One day I walked into FIU when I first transitioned, and we had a lovely lady came up to me, and she basically said, "IT, computer engineering, life, start backwards. What is your end goal, and then work backwards from that."
Exactly.
For example, somebody who's an IT auditor like myself, a CCNA may not be the most accurate certification for me. Uh, Certifications that would boost my value is the CISM, CISSP, CISA. So, um, whatever you want to do, just really sit down and think about it. Say, okay, this is how I see myself in the end.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I want to end in my career. Based off of that, work backwards. What certifications would I need to get to the end, that right there?
Mm-hmm.
And you can find that out by doing Google searches, talking with professionals who are in similar situations as far as the end. Talk to people who've been there for a while and say, hey, you know, based off of how I see your role in the future, take this cert.
Mm-hmm.
So soak up the game from people who are in positions that you would like to be, understand your end goal, and work backwards from there.
Yeah, man. Hey, that's dope, bro. That's some of the same like information I be putting out as well, bro. I 100% agree with you, man. Cuz that's why I always talk about building a network. And I'm gonna hop on that next, you know what I'm saying? But I want to stop it for a second and give a couple shout outs. I see a lot of new people coming in the chat and I wanted to just go down and say hi right fast. Sir Obadiah, good to see you. Snuggles, NC Worker, good afternoon. Good to see you. Professor Black Ops. And Snuggles, you can say more than the eyes, putting the eyes emoji up there. I'm just playing. Lit Yoshi, good to see you. He says, social engineering is getting crazy with deep
Hmm.
fakes. Yeah, yeah. And good to see you, though, man. Good to see you. And um, so networking that and let me just do a little spiel on that as well, but yeah, networking is important. I definitely agree with you, man. Like getting finding you a mentor, you know what I'm saying, someone that's where you want to be, you know what I'm saying, and they can give you the game on how to actually get there as well. And like you should want to learn from other people's mistakes, not make the same mistakes. So by finding someone, that's been through it, and they can tell you the roadblocks they ran into or the mistakes they made, in order to put you on the right path, and you can get into that position even faster if you look into getting someone like that. Do you want to add to that though? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, you're preaching to the choir. What I say this all the time, and this is not something that's only accurate to IT. It's accurate in life in general. For example, what I did, and this is something that the people viewing can implement, and the new viewers who's going to watch this in the future. If you don't know anybody, what you can do is go on LinkedIn. Go on LinkedIn and see, okay, I want to be a CIO of blah blah blah, right? Go on LinkedIn, type CIO in the search bar and see some of the CIOs. Do they have any pattern that is concurrent? Do they have any certifications that you see? Like they say, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck.
Hmm.
So if you see 10, 15 CIOs have this one certification, get it. It
Yeah.
just boosts your chances. You want to look like, from a resume perspective, you want to look like what you want to be as close as possible.
Hmm.
You'll have your own little flair, but see what is working from the people who are already where you want to be,
Yeah.
regardless whether you want to be an IT auditor, systems engineer, what have you.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. And shout out to Snuggles. I want to clarify my statement. I wasn't saying I wanted you to donate at all, but I definitely appreciate it cuz this money this channel is not centered around donations. I have a full-time job where I work in IT, and I'm not here to make money off of people. I want to help people. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate the money. I'm not saying anything about it. That's why I always salute to everyone that actually does it, and I put it up there, but I don't ask people to donate. You know what I'm saying? You can donate if you feel free to donate. It's not about that, but I appreciate it. But you said, well, I guess I would send you a donation because if you were talking about different topics, you would actually get more money. And that's the thing, I'm not interested in getting more money. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I already make enough from I make over $100,000 a year, and it's not to brag. It's because I want to see other people get into those positions where they can. And
Mhm.
this is all well documented. I have my jobs, all my information out there on how much I make. So I'm not if it comes, it comes. I'm not one of these type of people that's out here trying to make or get into a career of YouTube. I already have a career, and I want to get more people into careers like what I have. So shout out to you though. I definitely appreciate it. And I hope that don't come across wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to, say anything bad or whatever, but I'm just trying to explain to you that I didn't mean I wanted you to donate, but shout out to you. So back to the question. Let me see. That kind of threw me off for a second because I was
Mhm.
like, man, this I didn't mean it that way. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But so what are some of the what are some of the the challenges that you face while working as an auditor that you
From
run
a
into?
from a personal perspective, or like with
Just challenges in general when it comes to, um, just working in that field. Is it like, I guess the the cons. We always talk about the positives. The money and that. Yeah, and that's what made me think about it when I brought up money. How much people can make in this field, but people always talk about that. I just want to hear some of the cons or whatever of actually getting into auditing or challenges that you face.
well, I mean, when you're in the space and you have a career, you know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Um, one of the challenges you face is allocating time.
Mhm.
Time is a really big factor, whether it comes juggling your personal life with your career. Um, you know, another challenge is technology is always changing. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So trying to figure out which part of IT is going to last versus which not, if you made the right decision, etc. So I guess the cons is, like I said before, time, making sure that you are allocating your time correctly to what you need to be focused on, and also the certifications. You might get a certification and it's obsolete 3, 4, 5 years later down the road. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Not only it may be obsolete, and I think you know what I'm talking about. You have to get CPEs. You have to constantly keep up with the certification. So
Yeah, the
that
CEUs. Yep.
yeah, go ahead.
Nah,
Yes,
go ahead.
that's a pain. Having
Mhm.
to keep up with the CPEs so you can make sure your certification stays active.
Yeah.
Um, Also, many people experience when they come into the IT world is the traveling perspective. You're traveling all the time, and if you're kind of like me, you like traveling a little bit, but you don't want to, like, oh, I gotta go here, then I gotta go there, and then I gotta go here.
Mhm.
So if you're a traveler, cool. But I think the best part of the job is the remote capacity, being
Yeah.
able to just work remotely. So one of the things that I've seen people in my space, the cons, like you said, is allocating time to what you got to do, balancing certifications, the CPEs. You got to make sure you have a certain amount of CPEs each year to
Mhm.
keep up with your certification, and also the traveling. I mean, you
Yeah.
have you have job applications in IT where traveling is up to 60, 70%. You always traveling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, person like me, I'm not really, I'm not really a
Yeah.
fan of that, but
Especially when you got a family. You know.
yes, yes, yes. So, uh, those are the two big cons. I mean, the three big cons: time, CPEs for certifications, and traveling.
Okay. Now
The
I
the
gotta.
the extreme traveling.
Mhm. Yeah. So I got another question in the chat, and I saw this. It was from Professor Black Ops. So, are you a qualified security assessor? Do you know what that is?
That's a cert.
Oh, I'm not sure. That's something Professor Black Ops asked or whatever.
But no, I don't. Since I don't know what that is, if that's a cert, I don't have that cert. I'm not a qualified security assessor.
No, I think it's a position.
Oh, no, no, no,
Qualified,
no.
yeah, qualified security assessor. let's see, companies or independent security organizations that have been qualified. No, hold on. Let's see. Qualified. Yeah, that's a position. It's
Nah, nah,
basically
no, I'm not.
okay. Okay.
I'm an
Yeah.
IT. I'm an IT auditor.
Okay. Got you. I think that has to do with IT, but I don't know. Never mind. Not to put you
Well,
on the
well,
spot,
well,
bro.
well, well, well oftentimes, a companies will use different names, but they perform the
Mm-hmm.
same roles.
Yeah.
So the quality security assessor, that seems like something I will do because I do uh assess the security of the organizations that my company has the umbrella over.
Okay.
So I assess their vulnerabilities, whether that be something simple like if they have a firewall, do they have the are they using card machines that are PCI P2PE compliant to reduce their chances of being hacked? What emails are you using? Are you using accurate email domains so you can kind of guard against phishing attacks, things of that
Mm-hmm.
nature?
I got you. Got you. Got you. Um, it was another question I wanted to throw to you. Um, Now let me ask you this: do you work remote? Because someone asked that. Like, is it common to work remote in these type of jobs? Um,
Absolutely. Absolutely. I work remote. Like I said, my company's based off in Florida.
mhm,
Uh, we have meetings. This person is in Memphis. This person is in North Carolina. This person is in New York. This person is in New Jersey. So that's one of the things I love about IT as well. It has a lot of convenience and concepts to it. So I definitely work remote. And I think, God willing, I'll work remote for the rest of my life.
mhm. Hold on, is it frozen? Oh, nah, you still there, right?
Yeah, I'm still here. I
Okay,
stopped talking.
okay, all right, I got you. So yeah, I 100% agree, bro. Like, just working in this field in general, you know what I'm saying? You can run into a lot of remote positions, being on those teams meetings and all that stuff.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's cool. You know what I'm saying? You can be in your Gucci flip flops,
Yep. Yep. Working in
sitting at your
pajamas.
desk. Yeah. Yep. It's dope.
uh yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. And o- oftentimes people confuse working remote with working from home. I can work from home,
Hmm.
but as long as I have Wi-Fi connection and a computer, my company's computer, I could work from anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Uh I know people who they don't have a home. They have their van trailers, and they're touring, they're vacationing everything, and every now and then they go on their computer, do whatever project that they have to do, complete it, and going about their business.
Hmm. Exactly.
So when you work remotely, you really have the advantage of working wherever you want.
Hmm. Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because, or I'm glad you made that statement because I see Citizen Luke come in the chat, and he was actually working remote in a whole nother country for a
Mm,
U.S. company. You know what I'm saying? So it's possible to work remote anywhere. You know what I'm saying? If it all depends on the position and the job. You know what I'm saying? But you can travel the world and actually do the work long as you know, at the places where you need to be,
yep,
online, you get to go. You know what I'm
yep,
saying? So,
just that simple.
mm-hmm.
I have someone on the team. They're taking a couple week vacation to Ghana, Africa.
Okay.
So they're gonna be working in how close is Ghana from to America, right? They're gonna be working tons and tons of miles away.
Mm-hmm.
So it definitely has its perks.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. Now, engineering cannabis throwing through another question out there that's interesting. As an auditor, what tools do you use for analysis, and what skills do you need to understand outside of what you already explained? And I got a question for you too later, and this is dealing
Yeah,
with.
it's balancing on what could I say versus what I can't. So I'm just
Oh
gonna keep it
yeah.
very. I'm gonna keep it very surface level.
Okay.
Um, tools that, for example, there is this tool called uh Iron Scales.
Okay.
It's an emailing software. So basically, many companies use Iron Scales. For example, let's say somebody sends me an email with a link or something that I think is fishy.
Mhm.
Iron Scales has a feature about it to where you can scan the email and it can let you know if the link is legitimate or not. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? They could let me know if uh this person's email address was on the dark web, if they had any kind of malicious activity associated with that with their domain.
Mhm.
Um though Iron Scales is one software and tool I use. Um I use Audit Board. Audit Board is a tool that we use that we send what you call it questionnaires. Basically, what is your firewall? All these tech related questions to the
Mhm.
companies that we have an umbrella under our team. So Audit Board, Iron Scales, and we use a lot of Excel.
Okay. Yeah.
We use a lot of Excel.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. And I kind of figured that, and that was gonna tie into what I was gonna ask you as well. Like, I like I'm a big proponent of Linux, and so
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if you do like log analysis or anything like that, using like the arc command or any Linux operating systems or Kali Linux. I know that's heavily used in the general cybersecurity field, like pen testing and stuff. I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
sure if a auditor actually needed to look
No,
at
no,
and
no.
learn
That
some of that type of tools.
no,
Yeah.
no. IT auditing. I'm primarily my role is to tell uh after the vulnerability management team scans and does all that work, that's when
Mm-hmm.
I come in. They tell me, hey, these are the results of what we've scanned for. These
Okay.
are the vulnerabilities. Now it's my job to examine the policies in NIST in the PCI frameworks to tell the care centers, hey, this is what we found. These are your issues. This is how to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
I
it's kind of
I
like, I'm sorry.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead.
I brushed, when I was in FIU in the computer engineering program 3 years ago. I took programming one, programming two, programming three. So I kind of had a faint understanding of Linux
Mm-hmm.
and the programming aspect. We use Kali.
Okay. Yeah.
We use Kali. So that those were from an academic perspective is when I've used Linux more, but from a professional perspective, I have never used Linux.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm the same way. Like as far as my professional skills, I've never
Mm,
used Linux in a professional setting, or where I could put it on my resume. I mean, I can put
yeah.
it on my resume because I've been using it for a very long time, but I never use it in a production environment. Let me say that.
Mhm.
I've
Yeah.
always used it, outside as far as just learning, labbing, and all that good stuff. So I get it. I get it. But so you kind of deal with um like analyzing the risk as well. So like kind of like
Yes.
risk management. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm on the risk management team, the IT
Okay.
security risk
All right.
management team.
There we go. All right. There we go.
You got me. You got me. I'm sticking them up. You got me.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to
Cause
give
I
too
know you
much,
wasn't
but you
trying not
got
to
me.
say that. Yeah, yeah. But it just started coming to me.
It
I was
takes
like,
one to
okay,
know one. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. And see, I used to do risk management in the army. We
Yeah,
always
okay.
had to use like a risk management type of system in order to, just analyze the risks based on decisions that we make. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Not IT, but specifically on just specific decisions that either your leadership will make, or they would use a
Yes.
risk management process and all the rules that you have to look into and everything you have to follow. Make sure your I's are dotted, and
Mhm.
your T's are crossed and all that stuff before you go on a mission or whatever, you know.
Yeah, that I mean, you read me like a book. So, I'm trying to like toe the line of not saying too much,
Yeah.
etc. But absolutely, I am on the IT security risk management team. And that's primarily kind of what I work from.
Okay.
Uh, and that's when the NIST CSF, because NIST CSF and the PCI, they basically are like policies and rules that we should follow in
Mhm.
order to mitigate risk, prevent, and so like I said before, because I want to make it clear, we have another division in IT security, which is the vulnerability management.
Yeah.
They're the ones that kind of do the scanning, the really tech stuff, the coding.
Yeah.
Once they perform a scan on said organization, then they relay it back to me so I can
Mhm.
say, okay, this person doesn't have a firewall, this person doesn't have this person doesn't have that. What are the rules in NIST that I can apply in bite-sized pieces that this person who's not IT savvy can understand?
Mhm.
And that's so I'm like the bridge between the tech side and relaying the information to in a bite-sized understandable way to the
To
client.
management. Yeah, to the client or
Yep.
management. Yeah, I
Yep.
got you. I got you. And shout out to a couple people I see rolling in. If you want to share the video, just go on and share it for me. But shout out to Zakiba. She says we live. What would be a good way to remember IT problems? And that kind of falls into another question I wanted to ask you. Like, is like how do you document things that you learn as far as resources and different ways of actually doing your job, you know what I'm saying, or remembering, I guess, certain laws, and I mean just based on whatever you could say. I know you can't say much, but
Yeah.
is there like tools that you use to document certain things, or
Well, think about it, and this is probably not the best example, but think about it this way. For example, each year we know a new car is going to come out, right?
mm-hmm,
So basically, there's a book like NIST CSF. It's basically a book. And each year, as tech changes, as there are changes in software, hardware, the book updates.
mm-hmm,
And you can go on Google and see the latest update of said book.
yeah,
For example, there's a NIST CSF 90s, there's a NIST CSF 2000s, there's a NIST CSF. So how I keep myself updated, I don't really document because it's already done for me. The
okay,
NIST CSF, when they update the policies and the rubrics and what have you of what they want their companies to use in order to mitigate risk, I can just do a Google search and pay for and download the latest policies according to that year,
mm-hmm,
or things to look for in the future.
okay,
There are so many standards, IT frameworks, and you've worked on like another side, but we have IT frameworks for governance.
yeah,
We have IT frameworks for certain regions. So based off of your role and what you do, see the IT framework that it accurately represents what you do. Do
mm-hmm,
a Google search, and then from there, just see each year, is there a new version? Is there a new version? Just take it from there.
okay. Now, this also brings up another question. So, with the IT auditing positions or risk management, are there any good certifications out there for people that people can take in order to help them get into that area, or do you just kind of need a degree?
Well,
And do
there's
you have
no
any certifications?
no, I don't have certifications at the moment.
Okay.
I do have a certification, but that's an FIU certification. It's not an actual professional
Okay.
certification.
Mm-hmm.
However, a lot of certifications, especially the ones that I want, they require experience. You have to have 4, 5, 6 years of experience so you can get the CISSP, you can get the CISA, you can get the CISM. So for what I do in many areas in IT,
Mm-hmm.
you definitely want to get educated in it, whether that's bachelor's in IT, like what you said, or I'm not trying to sound like do what I did, but
Mm-hmm.
You really want to get your bachelor's in computer engineering, or something like that, something related like that, so you can get into the industry. Because a lot of us, uh, there's a lot of new people who are entering the space,
Mm-hmm.
and if you don't know anyone, well, the second best thing is to have a education in it, so people will, take a chance on you.
Okay.
It increases your chances of people taking a chance on you, because in our work, and this, Keep It Techie, there's a lot on the line. We can't mess up.
Mm-hmm.
We can't mess up. So
Yeah.
you want to show that you have a receipt, an artifact to show that I can trust you.
Mm-hmm.
And the way you do that, computer engineering, information technology, like what you have, and getting a master's in also that field as well.
Okay. So you do. Um. So you one of the people that believe that a degree is better than certifications. But I know it's different depending on what area. But I was just curious.
Um, that is a good question, because I'm not that question, because
I know I'm throwing you for a loop.
no, no, I know. It's just that if I was someone trying to go and get into cybersecurity, and I was listening to myself, I would say go for your degree,
Hmm.
because um a certification is good. It's very good, but it's better to take the harder path, because the harder path leads to better results. The hardest righteous path is better to go that direction, and it lays the foundation for everything else.
Hmm.
So um I would say go to a public or private university, get the degree rather than the certification,
Yeah.
because I was able to get in the door. When I was applying and trying to get into the door, people were more impressed with the fact that I had an education and a master's in cybersecurity,
Hmm.
rather than a certification they thought I may or may not have had.
Yeah. And let me add to that, or let me ask you another small question as well. Now, with the jobs that you've been able to secure, were you able to formulate or get or you were you able to get those positions because of the relationships you've ran into or you've built while in college?
No, and I
No.
should have. When I was in college, and I made that mistake. And for everyone who's watching, anyone who's watching this live or future, I made a mistake. I was about school and home,
Mm-hmm.
after school running home. I shouldn't have done that. I should have, not only while I was in school, networking, build relationships, do the internship as I was in school, not after.
Mm-hmm.
So e- that's is how you're supposed to do it. Get educated, network, build relationships, and then use those to get into the field. Because if you're like, because what I did, I was so wrapped up in graduating and having a high academic performance rate. I waited in COVID to start applying for jobs,
Yeah.
and I didn't have no relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So it was tough for me to get in the door. However, if I would have started early, build relationships, attend networking events, cybersecurity networking events, things of that nature, I would have had a much easier road than I faced a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, that's why I and hold on, you got an echo on your end. Um Hold on, I wonder what happened. It's like an echo. But anyway, um yeah, and that's one of the things I kinda I don't know, I didn't kinda lost my train of thought. Um Oh, and that's one of the things I try to talk about when it comes to, building those relationships. If you're gonna go to college, you want to build those relationships. And I kind of messed up as well. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm,
I went to school online, so it's kind of hard to network anyway,
mhm,
online. But um I just didn't they had groups online and all that stuff where you could talk to different people. But one of the things I didn't do was network at all through school. So
mhm,
um and the only thing that allowed me to, I guess, um do better, I guess, is because I kind of joined that fraternity called the United States Army. So I had that to kind of fall on
Mhm.
as far as networking, and I've gotten jobs because of that. So
Mhm.
use whatever it is you got in order to get where you're trying to go, because like I've gotten so many opportunities just from being around the military and being around different people in the military in order to help me. And that's kind of how I ended up on government contracting. But before we move on, oh, go ahead, go ahead. I don't
Oh
want you
no,
to
I
lose
just
your
I,
thought.
I just had a slight thing, and that's how I was able to get my first role in IT. I
Hmm.
attended a networking event, and I was able to meet the powerful figure in the space in Florida that looked at me and said, "You know, you got your bachelor's in computer engineering. You know, I can see the desperation in your face. I'll get I'll take a shot at you." So you definitely, the earlier you better get into networking events, build relationships, and take advantage of those relationships. Go ahead.
Exactly, exactly. I agree. But I just wanted to shout out a couple more people I see coming through. Just Ask Share, good to see you. I'm glad you're able to come through and catch me going live. Lee Scott, good to see you. He says plus networking and working with recruiters will help. Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. And
Mhm.
shout out to AM1. Shout out to you, bro. Good to see you in the building as well, bro. You know, I definitely appreciate it. And also Tay, um, I hope you did good on your Linux Plus beta. I took it as well, and we won't get the results back until June, which sucks. You know what I'm saying? But I hope you did well on it as well, bro. You know what I'm saying? So good to see you. And Taboo, good to see you as well. Um, So it was one other thing I wanted to get into, and that was dealing with because you kind of already answered like the programming questions, um, degrees and certifications. One other thing though, uh, how do you uh how do you learn more? How do you go about learning more in order to be better at your job or to move up?
Well, um, that there's two answers to that question. The way I learn is the best way to learn your whatever you do, and this is a part of my. You will see this in many roles, whether it's IT auditing, a lot of IT roles, is staying on top of cybersecurity newsletters. um I, on a weekly basis, and that's another component that I will add to my channel, is cybersecurity news. What is on the rise? Is there a new exploit? Is there a new kind of ransomware that is on the rise? What is going on? You know what I'm saying? Krebs on security and things of that nature is like CNN for cybersecurity.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps you up to date on what's going on, what's new, what's happening now, what's happening in the future. How you level up? You know, you just got to make sure that you come. You know, this is gonna sound kind of cliche, but a wise person told me work on your soft skills. Hard skills get you in the door, but soft skills, you know, help you rise up. You know,
Mm-hmm.
how to communicate with people, how to work with people, how to do your job with a smile. Because when you are in upper management, you're not really doing like the work part. You are you're networking. You're building clients. You're doing something, those certain things. So, am I going to put somebody in upper management that doesn't have those soft skills of how to carry a conversation, how to conduct a PowerPoint presentation in front of new people, how to make people feel good to want to do business with you?
Mm-hmm.
So hard skills get you in the door, but how you level up in many cases in IT is your soft skills. How do you talk to people? How do you work with people? How do you make people feel? Things of that nature.
Got you, got you, got you. Yeah, that's definitely important. Those soft skills are definitely important. So I 100% agree with you. Um, now, lastly,
Hmm.
so talk about your channel, man, because I see you doing great things over there. I was doing a little recon on your channel, checking you out, bro, and I like the content that producing. I saw you talk about the WannaCry,
Hmm.
um, malware or whatever, and I saw you talk about some other stuff. I want to let you go on and talk about it and tell people about it. And just so you guys know, the link to his channel is down in the description of the video. So just go on and go over there, subscribe to his channel. I've been meaning to, put it up. I kept forgetting because the conversation was good. You know what I'm saying with with Mark, man. And I kept forgetting to drop the link or whatever. But that's why I wanted to make the last segment of you just covering your channel and just talking about what you're doing over there. So go ahead.
Yes. So one of the things that I'm a visual learner, and each of us kind of know, cyber attacks and this and that, but how does it look like? What does a cyber attack look like? Like, we know we know when somebody got robbed. We've seen it before. We've seen movies of gunpoint, but we have not really seen, how does a cyber attack, what does it look like? So what I do, I visually demonstrate how some of the gravest cyber attacks, $1 million cyber attacks, how they're performed. And you can see the performance of that cyber attack from an attacker perspective and victim. So I show you how it looks when the attacker is executing it, and how it looks from the victim perspective, it being performed on them. And then that's Mondays. On Thursdays, I show you how to recover and prevent that attack. So, for example, WannaCry is a huge ransomware attack, and it was performed on, billion-dollar companies. So, Mondays I drop the cyber attack of how it looks from an attacker and victim. Thursday, I show you how to recover or prevent that same cyber attack. And then moving forward, I'm also going to be implementing videos about cybersecurity news
Hmm.
that relates to us, the everyday user. For example, is there something that's going to affect your iPhone or AirPods?
Hmm.
Uh, will there be ways that, criminals, cyber attackers can, hack into your phone, see your messages, all that? So I'm gonna put relatable content on my channel that relates to us, and then I'm gonna also show cyber attacks, how they look. How was the criminal able to hack into Target?
Yeah.
What did they use? How did
Hmm.
it look? So in a nutshell, that's what I do.
Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, and that's very important to do. And I meant to say that a little earlier when you brought up cyber news. That's one of the ways you keep up on things. That's one of the reasons I put up, certain cyber news that I see interesting, especially when it comes to like Linux or,
Mhm.
some cyber stuff as well. But it's important once you get into these roles to stay on top of current events. You know what I'm saying? Because that'll help you with your job as well. Like for instance, I remember, what was it, the Log4j vulnerability that just came out not that long ago.
Mhm.
Well, I was on top of it. As soon as it popped up, I think I did a video on it. And then like the next week, and normally I record on the weekends because I work through the week or whatever. But
Mhm.
normally, um, so I recorded that video, and then it's crazy. I started seeing traffic at work about Log4j the next week. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
by me already looking into it and having some information about it, I was able to help or at least explain it in front of different people I worked with. So that just being on top of current events will definitely help you, and that's a soft skill in itself. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And that'll help with conversations with people that you work with, because you want to be able to talk about what you do. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So and if the more information, the more knowledge you have about it, you know what I'm saying, about a particular topic that's related to what you do, the more beneficial you'll look to the company, as well as your leadership, management, all that good stuff. So
And I have something, if you don't mind, that I would like. Somebody commented what event in Florida, Taboo Smash, and what I did, Taboo, was I went to events that I knew decision makers were going to be at. For example, CIOs or upper management. You could see it in the title, and sometimes you can even see who's going to be there. Such and such is going to talk. Such and such has the blah blah blah. It's good to be in IT events where decision makers, upper management is going to be there, because there's always going to be a slot that is open. And just like I did, I walked up to him, a powerful guy. I was able to smile, blah blah blah, rub shoulders, and then he was able to get me a job. So be at networking events where you know there's going to be a lot of powerful decision makers that
Hmm.
can give you a job. They're going to be there.
Yeah, and I
Go ahead.
100% agree though. I 100% agree. That's part of that whole networking piece, and I try to always push people. Well, I kind of stopped because of this whole, the whole pandemic thing or whatever. Because, but I used to tell people to go to meetups.com or whatever that site is, the
Hmm.
meetup site. You can download that app on your phone, and you can find cybersecurity, meetups, and then also conferences.
Yeah.
Don't be shy, especially if you work in the IT field. Don't be shy to ask your company, "Hey, will you guys fund me to go to this conference? It can definitely help me with my job." And
Hmm.
you can use that as a networking tool as well by you rubbing shoulders with people. I mean, because at the end of the day, a lot of these companies, you're just a number, you know what I'm saying, in certain cases. And so, in order for you to either move up or, secure a better position, sometimes you got to jump companies. And I hate saying that. I know I used to hear that a lot from my parents. Oh, don't quit that job. You got a good job or whatever. But a lot of times I done been laid off as well. So it goes both ways. You know what I'm saying? So you should ultimately have more loyalty. If loyalty was, let's say it was 100%, you should keep your loyalty to yourself at 51% at least. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Your loyalty to should be to yourself more than the company. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. And I'm not saying don't don't go out there and be all you could be for the company that you're currently working for, but you should also keep yourself in mind, or have that in the back of your head as, okay, if I want to move up, I need to just go on and jump companies, in certain instances, especially if the position is better, and and if you can learn more and it can put you in a better situation if you think it will. I'm not saying just jump at every opportunity, but just make sure it's something that that can benefit you. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense.
Hmm.
And I'm starting to ramble, and it's supposed to be about you.
No, 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 no. I'm listening. I'm listening.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you should. That's just my thoughts on it. I mean, you can take it how you want to take it, whatever. And I'm talking about for anybody out there listening, not you.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But shout out to my man Mark. I definitely appreciate you coming through. Definitely check out his channel. It looks like he's gonna be, putting up more content, more content.
Yep.
I definitely wanna, like I said, anybody that's doing something positive, I wanna see, them win as well. You know what I'm saying? I don't wanna hog all the IT subscribers. Nah, go. I mean, it's a lot of people out here putting great information out there, and so that's one of the reasons I bring these guys on. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody don't want to hear me. You know what I'm saying? Um, and then yeah, these topics are kind of they kind of repeat, but you're hearing it from different people with different perspectives. That's the whole point. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the questions are pretty much the same, but you're hearing different perspectives on those questions. You know what I'm saying? So, but shout out to you, Mark. Like I said, everybody going on and hey, hang on. After this, I'm gonna run a little outro and everything. But Shout out to you, Mark, for actually coming through, and make sure you guys check out his channel, subscribe to him. Shout out to everybody that actually came through. Shout out to all the super chats that I got or whatever. I definitely appreciate it. It goes right back into the channel. You know what I'm saying? But I hope you guys have a wonderful day and productive day. Go out there and learn something great. And peace.